What's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for me. This is Drinks with JD.
Well, Nicole McFly was born during some tough times. I'm kidding. So, when I was going to middle school, en la secundaria 118.
There you go.
I can say that? Should I say that?
Sure, why not?
Okay, en la secundaria 118. Represent, you know. I love that school.
Yeah.
It's a public school. Anyway, so I was always talking about like Back to the Future and stuff, you know.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, Back to the Future, you know. And a lot of people didn't understand what I was talking about. Because I was obsessed with like time travel and like just geeky shit, you know. Like I was one of those kids that was like into zombies and like, you know, I don't know. And then nobody would really like talk about it. Or like, I don't know, there was not that many people to relate, I guess. And then one kid showed up and he was like, "Hey, McFly." And I was like, oh, so that was our thing. Like he'd be like, "Hey, McFly, you know, you're a chicken." And I was like, "Nah, don't call me that." You know, like kind of like playing like with the, I guess with the pop culture of it, pop culture references. And then he would just call me, "Hey, McFly, McFly, McFly." And then my mom let me open a Facebook, and because back then it was MySpace, but then Facebook, you know, like, and she was like, "Okay, you're 14, whatever, now you can open a Facebook." And I put Nicole McFly, and then after that it just became, I guess, like
It just stuck.
It just stuck, you know, and teachers thought my actual last name was McFly, so they'd be like, "Nicole McFly, you know, Nicole McFly," stuff like that, and it just stuck. It stuck, and you know, it sounded cool, and people would call me McFly. "Hey, McFly, you know, Mac Moscas, you know, whatever," and It just stuck with me, and I think it sounds cool.
No, it's pretty dope.
So
there you go.
I like it.
Okay. Now, as far as music, who influences you?
Everything, dude. Everything influences me.
Are there certain artists?
Artists, I guess. Let me think.
Because you mentioned Gloria Trevi.
Gloria Trevi, I was a big fan of Gloria Trevi. I grew up with Linkin Park a lot too.
Wow.
You know, because it was very heartfelting music, I guess. And you know, you're a teenager and you're like, you're not even going through anything, and you're like, you know, and
it doesn't even matter.
I tried so hard.
Exactly.
Linkin Park, Papa Roach. I was into Papa Roach. I don't know, My Chemical Romance. El Disco del Millón. Like my mom would listen to that type of music, and I enjoyed it. Musical influences. That's from the past. You know, like that's what made me feel like I would listen to a song and then I would imagine like the music video in my head. You know, I would be like, I would close my eyes and just like be like, "Oh, you," and I would go back to the song and I'd be like, "Oh, I feel like these like drums feel like punches, or like this would be perfect for like," or I don't know, I would listen to a song over, I would obsess over a song. Like I would be like, I don't know, Lord, Yellow Flicker Beat, and I would just play it over and over and over and over, and then just dance in my room and be like, you know, express and like jump around, and it's pretty ridiculous. Nah, just kidding.
Well, how about this? Let me add on to what you were saying. Let's say, okay, you bought a CD, right? And the videos aren't even out yet, right? But now you just hear the lead single in the radio, and then it's you know, you visualize it in your head, and then all of a sudden they drop the video, right? Were you, or have you ever been disappointed on how they portrayed the video? Because in your head you had a completely different video. You know, like were you ever like, "Man, I would have done it better"?
Yes, right? A lot of times, but you know, I guess it's the ego too. You know, it's like you're because you expect something else. You know, like for example, Rake. Oh no, you know what? Okay, like RBD. Right. I didn't know RBD was a show. I thought it was just music. I thought it was a band. You know, because I won a CD in elementary school.
That's awesome.
And I heard it, and I would hear it, and I'd be like, "Dude, this slaps." You know, sick band. And then, wait, was it RBD? No, it was High School Musical. My bad. But it happened with both. So I would hear High School Musical, and I was like, "Dude, this is sick." You know, so theatrical, so like, I don't know, dramatic. You know. And then I was watching TV, and it was like High School Musical, the movie playing, and this Sunday, and I was like, they have a movie? Like the band has a movie, you know? So obviously I enjoyed the movie a lot, but yes, or what happened where like I would listen to a band or a song and like the people didn't look like I saw them in my head, you know? Like I would picture like my crush at the time, you know, singing to me or something, you know? Like, I've definitely like watched videos and I'm like, oh, like they didn't cut that right. Like I was like, oh, they should have done this instead. So yeah, but then again, I feel like I can't like, I don't know.
Well, overall, you can't be too hard on a director because you gotta be empathetic because that's their art.
But
so it's like, okay, you gotta, you know, if you want that, okay,
you gotta do it yourself, you know. So then I started, you know, when I started diving into film and to music as well, I realized that it's not as simple. Like it's not that easy. Like it doesn't just happen. Like there's so many things that come into play that
just how we were mentioning earlier, everything.
And a lot of the times, like the pop stars from back in the day, they wouldn't direct their own videos. Like it was like big, like I don't know, record label type stuff, and it's like, so it was hard to understand when it was someone's art and when it wasn't. When it was something like produced by, you know,
too many hands in the cookie
jar.
Too
many hands could be.
Creating.
And I feel like they all had that same vibe back in the day, you know, of like super highly produced, or you know, I loved MTV, you know, like, and you know, it would get your imagination going, but you know, but as a child, of course, I was like, I would have done this, or I would have cut there.
I'm with you,
right? Like I feel like you're, you know, you're a child, you're innocent, you don't know that.
No doubt. Okay, so what's your favorite part of creating music overall?
Creating music overall.
What's your favorite?
My favorite part. Well, now, I don't know. I guess making it to begin with.
Okay.
Like the first time that you actually sit down and like it starts coming out by itself. That's my favorite part. Like
the process.
The process, like the beginning process of it, feels so cool because it's like it's just you in the kitchen. You know, like you're
out of nothing.
Taking things and you know, like. I don't know, like sometimes I'd be like, I will write a sentence, right? And I'll be like, oh, like I need to take that out. Or like I would come up with a melody, right? Like da 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 da, right? And maybe the sentence that I have doesn't fit in that melody. So I have to take off some words or replace the melody. So it's like, it's really like, it almost feels scientific, but soulful at the same time. So I really enjoy that. I every song that I've written is like a different, I've been in different places, you know, mentally. So I feel like that's my favorite part. And then of course, now that I get a taste of performing now, that's like, I enjoy performing it. Because, you know.
That's just something different, okay.
It's something different, but at the same time, it's like some songs I wrote so long ago that I don't relate to them anymore. And sometimes it's hard to sing them. You know, it's like, oh, like I have to sing the song again, but I don't feel that way anymore. But so I have to kind of like put myself in that place again, like remember something of that, and then I have to feel it so I can like be honest with the audience and with me too, because I've had times where like a song doesn't, you know, like a heartbreak song, whatever, it doesn't hit me as hard anymore, and I have to kind of like imagine like
being heartbroken.
Like remember those times and be like, okay,
those feelings.
Because then the voice would also like not be as dramatic or as you know, imposing.
Or maybe can you say it'll be less authentic? Because those aren't your feelings anymore.
They're not, but like
I mean, even though they were your feelings when you created it, it's like that's just not how you feel anymore. Like I'm over it.
Yes. And I feel like I'm always changing. You know, like always like changing into a different person. And sometimes like I forgive you, but then it's like, but now how am I gonna sing that song?
That's right.
Like
I keep that same energy, and it's like
you know, I have to kind of like go back into it and tap out because you can't stay there anymore.
That's
like
right. It's
I don't
like
know.
Muse, like it's I understand.
Something like that.
You know, it kind of reminds me of I went to a Logic concert a couple weeks ago, and so when he was, I guess, performing one of his biggest hits, it's a song about suicide. Right. He before he sang the song, he mentioned to the crowd that he was in a certain place when he wrote the song. You know, like I don't want to be alive, you know, all that stuff. And now he doesn't feel like that. You know, fast forward, but he still just performs it because it helps people in what they're going through, right? Even though he mentioned, he goes, I wrote this during some emotions that I don't currently have, you know, and also it brings me back to those emotions. However, I'm still gonna sing it because it's a fan favorite. Do you have a song that, let's say it's a fan favorite, but you know, even though you're hesitant to perform it because that's not how you feel, do you still sing it? And which one is it?
Well, I think that's a good question. That's a great question. Let's see. Well, some songs. Let me try to think.
You know what? There's a song.
Forgive me. Tell me.
Okay, so I remember there's a song that I heard of yours. I can't pinpoint the title, but it's I think it's like Lying, where like the guy lies.
I lied too.
Yeah. I lied too. Yeah.
Yo,
like,
I hate that song.
Okay,
bro.
so why? Like, is that one of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I feel like the most songs that I relate to would be love songs, probably.
Okay.
Like, not heartbreak songs, but love songs, you know, because I don't know, I don't know, I'm just such a lovey-dovey person, you know. I when I'm in a relationship, I'm like, like I worship my partner. I'm like, you know, let's do it all, dude, you know.
Conquer the world,
whatever, you know. And but that song, I guess, it was so fast, you know, and I had same feeling of revenge, or kind of like, like me quiero desquitar, you know, like,
hey, I lied too.
You know, I lied too, boy. You know, like, and I was just feeling sassy that day, like sassy and like, I don't know, like Gemini-ish, I don't know, dude. I was just feeling very, you know, that I had to let it out, and I had something to say, you know. And yes, one of my closest friends, he loves that song. He's always quoting it. It's a dope song, yeah. He's always quoting it. He's all like, you know? And I'm like, yes, I get it. It's a cool song. And I'm proud of it, you know, like, because I did it all myself. I recorded it, I edited my vocals, and I just released it. Like, it was the most, I would say, like, the best way to release it. I don't know, a song, it was the fastest song I've ever released because I was just so, like,
it's in the
within
moment.
a couple of hours, it was out, you know?
That's
and
amazing.
So,
and it's a good song.
You think so?
Yeah, it's pretty
dope.
Thank you.
I like the melodies. And
no,
stuff.
it's well, overall the concept. You can tell the emotions are in it. You can tell it's the authenticity. You know, and also, you know, the beat and the lyrics are pretty dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I got it from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I contacted what is his name? Cooper.
Okay.
Balance Cooper.
Okay.
He has a lot of really cool beats, and I contacted him. I was like, bro, like,
and
he didn't reply to me until like 2 years later.
Oh wow.
And he was like, you can rent the beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, might as well just take it down, dude. Might as well just not, you know.
Yeah.
But it was one of those situations where like, people wanted, or like my friends really dig that song and quote it to me, and I was like, But it's kind of embarrassing because I feel like it was a different me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't relate to that, but you gotta, I don't know, because art is forever once you put it out there. Like, you gotta, you know, and sometimes I feel like, well, I'm not at that point yet, but fans feed you, you know, like Logic. I love Logic. He's amazing. But I'm sure even if it hurts, like he still wants to give them something, you know, like give them love. That's love, straight up. Like, if it hurts you, it's kind of like that, you know, like sometimes we do things for love that hurt us too, and we have to be selfless, you know. And he could have been like super ego and been like, nah, I'm moving on to another song, whatever, and not even like talk about it. But from what I know, because I've been to his concerts too, he's very personal with his fans, and he's very open, and he's, you know, so I don't know. It depends on each person, but I feel like if it was really that bad to where like a song gave you like some type of post-traumatic, you know,
is there one
episode? No, I don't think so.
You think you can play all of them?
I can play all of them. Like, there was a time when I wrote Ay Abuela, actually, for the longest time, I couldn't sing that song without crying. I couldn't sing it without crying. I would like be singing it.
Forgive me.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's not dive into that one. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Later on, because I want to focus on that.
Okay, we'll focus on that one.
But songs like that, where overall, you know, it puts you in a place that I guess maybe you weren't comfortable in.
Right.
But that's actually those emotions that it created within yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like you got to be strong too. Yeah. You got to have courage, and if people really like it and like those numbers are up, and like, I don't know, if you get like hella, you know, people coming up to you, then it's making movement. Yeah. First of all, you're creating movement. Like,
and your art is doing something.
And your heart is doing something. Your art and your heart. Your heart.
Both. Yeah.
And
they both go hand in hand.
Right. So that's a good, first of all, I feel like it's a good, what do you call it? A good sign, you know?
That's right.
A good sign, and you just have to look within yourself, because nobody's gonna do what you're not gonna do what you don't want to do.
That's right.
You know,
Especially as an artist.
You don't have to ever do anything. So
that's right.
I don't know. That's what I gotta say.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way we met, right? I remember I went to a show and I saw you perform, right? And I thought you were hella dope. You know, I loved your music, your vocals, your performance, your energy. And when you came off stage, you were selling some projects, right? And like I said, you know, I loved your performance, so it made me a fan, right? And I saw that you were selling merch, you were selling shirts, and also your project, your latest project, right? And well, this is a cover of that project at the time. However, I did notice that you had different drawings, right? So you had them in different. So I bought two. I was like, you know what? That's a cool cool cover, and this one's a cool cover too. You know, so even though it was selling the same project, fortunately I was able to you know, give one to my brother, and you know, stuff like that. He loved the album as well. Yay. But I noticed that well, I was mentioning they're different drawings, and there's a character on it, right? Can you speak about the character and what inspired that character? Or is it like a mascot? Or how about I'll let you say.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Day, go work.